Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. I hope you guys are enjoying this whiteboard learning, and thanks for giving a good response. I'm getting really good response, so that's why I thought of continuing with some really interesting topic. So guys, today we are going to talk about the best practices for page object model. I'm not going to create a page object model, but today I'm going to tell you what are best practices that you have to follow, because page object model design pattern is quite famous for any kind of web application or any kind of mobile application that if you are using it. So page object model is a design pattern. First of all, see guys, you have to understand there is a difference between framework and the design pattern, right? So with the help of page object model, you can include with any kind of framework, and you can create a data driven approach with page object model or hybrid approach with page object model. You can do that, right guys? So page object model is a pattern. There are certain guidelines are defined. You have to follow certain rules over there, certain process you have to follow, certain design you have to follow. Then only you can achieve a good page object model. I see a lot of people, they do silly mistakes. They don't follow the rules properly, they don't follow the guidelines defined, okay, for page object model. But see, first of all, who is defining these rules? It's not about that, okay, yeah, I'm the owner, I'm going to design. But there's certain experts are available in the market. I'm going to show you those references also, that what exactly page object model says, and according to these experts, right? And it's always a debatable topic, but you feel after this particular video, am I correct or not, right? So let's start. So page object model is a design pattern, especially designed for UI application. UI can be anything. It can be mobile, it can be your web also, because in mobile apps we have different pages, in web also we have different pages, so it can be applied for both mobile and UI. It is not made for API. With the help itself, you can say that, okay, with the name itself you can say page object model. It means web pages or mobile pages. So let's see, typically what we say, typically we say that, okay, in page object model there are two important factors. One is page, one is test, right? So you have to define your page. Let's see, if I'm talking about Java, you have to create your page. For every page you have to create a separate Java class, then you have to create a separate test class, and then these two classes are communicating with each other, and we are designing a framework on top of it, right? This is the main fundamental of page object model. So let's see, I'm going to create two components over here, and then we are going to talk about what are different best practices that we have to follow, how to create a page class and how to create a test class, which is important. Now let's see. A typical application, any web application, let's see, where we have different pages, right guys? So let's see, page number 1, then we have page number 2, then we have page number 3. So this is a page layer that I have created. I'm going to give some name over here. Let's see, this is my login page dot Java class, because we know that for every page class we have to create a Java class. Same thing for home page. I'm quickly write homepage dot Java, and let's see, this is my some other page. Let's see, this is my search page. Whatever the page, I'm just randomly picking any page name. Search page dot Java. I think this marker is not that great. Let me change it. Okay, perfect. Now, for every page class, what we have to do, we have to create a separate test class. So let's see, this is my test class that I'm going to create. This is my second class, and let's see, third test class over here. So this is my what, login page test dot Java. Same thing, HP test means homepage test dot Java, and this is my, let's see, what, search page. Test dot Java. So right, so this is the thing that I have created over here. Perfect. Now for login page.java, I'll be using certain rules. For test classes, I'll be using certain rules. And let's say I'm using either, you can use, if I'm using Java, TestNG also you can use that, or you can use JUnit. Right guys? But this concept will remain same for other programming languages. If you're using Python, if you're using PyTest or unit test, you can use that. If you're using, let's see, JavaScript, so for Jasmine also, for Mocha also, same concept will be applied. Right guys? If you're using C#, n unit. Okay, same concept will be applied. The design pattern will remain same. So this is the typical structure that we follow. Now see it carefully. Login page.java is having what? In login page.java, we will be defining a couple of important things. We will be defining our by locators, right, with the help of by class, or you can use web elements with the help of @find by page factory also you can define that. Along with by locators, what we have to do, we have to create our page actions. Same thing, you have to create your by locators and page actions, by locator and page actions over here, right? So let's see, typical by locator we are creating for login page. We have username, we have password, then we have a login button, then we have sign up link. These are the by locators that I have created. And if I ask you that, okay, hey, create a page action means methods we have to create. Page method. Now what do you mean by page methods? Page actions. Page action means which is defining the behavior of the page. So page layer, this entire layer, guys, this is called a page library for me. Remember this thing. This is a page library. A page library, right? Now what do you mean by library? Library means which is giving you the behavior, the application pages behavior, or the properties or the methods, that what exactly, how exactly my page is behaving. It means my login page is behaving, my home page is behaving, my search page is behaving in the form of method. I'm going to give that. I'm going to give that, okay, when you call this particular method, what is happening with this particular page for this particular module or for this particular web element. I'm going to return you something, and then you do whatever you want to do. You want to assert it, you want to print it, or you do whatever you want to do that. But so page library is giving you the behavior of the page. Remember this thing, this is the first fundamental of page object model. So let's say I have written this thing, and now how to create a page action method. So let's say I'm going to create a page action method that let's say for sign up link, that method name is, I'm going to create something like this, that sign up link exists or not. So this is a method that I have created. Now this method is going to check that, okay, hey driver dot find element or by dot whatever, the locator that you have written, sign up this particular locator, and dot is displayed I'll be using, right? So this method is giving you what? This method is giving you a boolean, right? It's displayed or not. So that's why I'm going to return this thing over here. So if I'm returning this, is displayed is returning what? Is displayed is returning a boolean. So I'm writing boolean is a return type of this particular method, right? And let's make this method as public. Assume that, right guys? So this is a method I have written, one page action that I have written. Similarly, I can create one more method. Let's see, my second method, I'm going to create that login method, which say that, okay, hey, give me the username or give me the email ID and password, right guys? So I'm going to create driver dot same thing, find element, use this particular username dot send keys and enter this particular email ID. Same thing, driver dot find element, use this particular password and dot send keys and enter this particular ID over there, this particular password over there. Same thing, then you have to click driver dot find element, click on the login button and then dot click. Typical way. So this is my second method, page action that I have written. Now this method is doing what? This method is doing login for you guys, right? So let's see, these are different methods that I have written. Same thing for home page, I have written method number M2, method M3, here I have written M4 and M5. So one example I have shown you. Likewise, for different features, you are going to create by locators, and these by locators will be used in these methods to perform, to check the behavior of the page and behavior of the web elements. And the same thing over here as well, you are going to use that. For different pages, you are going to design. Now guys, these by locators I'll be defining in the form of private variables. So I'll be using one encapsulation concept over here, that I'm going to encapsulate my by locators, and then I'm going to encapsulate with my public methods. So all these methods will be public and all these variables will be private in nature. So I want to use encapsulation object-oriented programming concept over here that okay, all these private variables will be encapsulated and will be accessed by all these public actions or public methods that I have defined. Fine. So same way I'll be using for other methods as well. Now, once the page action is defined, immediately I write my test cases. So let's move to the test cases part. When I move to my test cases part, in my login page test, if I'm using test ng or JUnit, what we have to do? We have to write some setup method. So I'll be writing my setup. Setup method means, let's see, I'll be writing one @ before test annotation. And inside the setup method, I'll launch my browser and everything. And then I'll be writing my @test annotation. I'll doing some testing over here along with some assertion. And then finally, I'll be writing my tear down method. So this is my tear down method with the help of @ after test I'll be writing. This is a typical way of writing it, test cases. So same way, let's see, I'll be writing some other test cases over here, test number T2, T3, T4, like that I'm writing along with the assertions. Now remember one thing, when you are writing this particular test, and let's see my test name is that verify sign up link. So how will you write it? So if you really want to write verify sign up link, this particular test is calling this particular method that you have written, sign up link method that you have written. So in this particular method over here, I'm going to call this method. So when I call this method is written in what? This method is using driver.findElement is displayed, which displayed? Sign up is displayed or not. This is the sign up. Is displayed or not? And it will return on the basis of is displayed, yes, return true, otherwise false. So when we are getting true or false over here, then I'll be writing my assert over here. Then I'll be writing, let's see, one assert true over here that okay, yeah, element is displayed, test case got passed. If element is not displayed, test case got failed. This is the thing, guys, that you have to do that. Now, what is the rule? The rule is, let me rub this. Okay, the rule, what is the rule in page object model? Two important rules at the page side. Okay, guys, when you create a page class, for page class, what are the rules? The first rule is do not write assertion in page class. This is not the right thing you are doing. Do not write assertion in page class. This is a wrong practice, guys. Your page class is not here to validate something. Page class just check that okay, what is the behavior, what is the current behavior of that particular element. Element is displayed or not, page actions are happening or not, whatever. So you return the state of the page, the behavior of the element or a state of the element you return, and now it's test class responsibility to test it. So the second rule for the test class, remember one thing, second rule for the test class is that assertion should be returned, okay, in test class. Assertion should never be written in page class. Remember this thing. If you are writing assertion, you go and check your framework in your company. If you are writing assertion in page class, you are doing it wrong according to the design pattern. You can do it, your framework is working fine, your execution is fine, that's okay. But according to the rules, according to the guidelines, you are doing it wrong. And I'll tell you what are the disadvantages with that in some time. Now, test class should have only assertion. Third rule is, in the test class only, never use WebDriver APIs. It means do not use driver.findElement, .click, .send keys, or .is displayed or .get text. Do not use your driver APIs over here. This thing in your test class. Because driver is talking to the page, driver is talking to the web page. Driver should be written, driver API should be called in your page class. And the page class should give you the behavior, the current behavior of the page, and it should be validated in test class. This is something, guys, we have to understand. What people they do, you write a test class, you check a lot of Git repositories on the page. In fact, I used to do the same mistake earlier, but later on I got to know that I'm also doing it wrong. This is not the right thing. What you do inside a test class, do not write driver. Please. Do not call driver.findElement. It looks noisy. It's ugly. Frankly speaking, it doesn't look good. Okay, if you're writing a test having full of driver.findElement over there, this is a violation of page object model. Strictly not allowed. Okay, if you are doing it, that is your choice. But according to the patterns, if you really want to use patterns, if you really want to use the advantage of patterns, in that case, you're not doing it properly. If you really want to do it, you have to follow it. Otherwise, just forget about it. Okay. Now, and patterns are the very strong concept. Either it is single responsibility pattern or design patterns or singleton pattern or page object model pattern. There are certain patterns are available, right? In Java, there are more than 20 patterns are available. So that's why there is a reason behind that why the developers are using these patterns to make your life easy, to make your code is proper maintainable. Maintenance is very important in framework, right guys? And I'll tell you that particular point in some time. So is this clear? So in page class, do not write assertion. In test class, please never use driver APIs over there. And test class should be responsible only and only for assertions. They should not check any behavior of the page over there. Perfect. Now, you must be thinking that, okay, Naveen, you are saying you should not use driver. Then why are you using driver over here? Because in setup, you have to launch the browser. And for launching the browser, you are using WebDriver, driver equal to new Chrome driver and driver.get, you are launching the URL. How to solve that thing also, right? So what exactly we can do? Let me rub this. I hope it's clear. It's difficult to explain, guys. I hope you guys are getting it. But let's see. Now, I'll be creating one more page class once again. So typical page class, let's see, this is my page class. This is my page class, okay? And single page class, any page, home page or search page or whatever. This is my page class. In my page class, I'll be writing my different bilocators. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my second section bilocator. And then I'll be writing my second section is first section. Second section is that I'm going to create a constructor of this particular class, where I'll be passing the driver over here so that my driver will be initialized over here. Then the third section is that is my page actions or page methods. I'll be writing different method M1, M2, M3, 4 different methods I have written. And every method, it could be void or most of the time it should return the behavior, right? So let's see, this guy is returning true, element is available or not. This guy is returning something else. Let's see, once again boolean value. This is something is returning a string text, and this is something again returning a true value over here like that. Track means, let's see, I want to verify that the title of the page, or let's see header of the page, or logged in username I want to verify. So I simple capture driver.findElement.getText, and then I'll be returning the same text from here. Right? So this, all these guys, all these page actions, they are checking the behavior of the page. And then correspondingly, what I'm going to do? Now, what I'm going to do, guys, that I'm going to create one base page class over here. You create one base page, and here you initialize your driver. Initialize, let's see, underscore driver method I'll be using. And here you use your logic. Driver equal to new Chrome driver. So I'll be writing WebDriver. Driver is equal to new Chrome driver, something like this, is equal to new Firefox driver, is equal to new Safari driver, like that, right? With the help of switch else condition, switch else statement, or if else condition, you can write it. I'm not writing the exact logic over here, right? And all these page classes, they are inheriting, they are extending this base page. So likewise, you can simply do that. Now, when you create your test over here, this is my base test I'm going to write. This is my base test, right? And this base test, I'll be writing my @ before test annotation, and then here I'll be calling this guy. So I'll be creating the object of base page, and then I'm calling initialize driver method over here. So I'll get my driver. And then here I'll be writing, okay, let's see, here I'm launching the URL also. with the driver.get, and the URL also got launched, and then I'll be writing @after test, and then quit method I'll be calling. So let's see, quit is also written over here somewhere in my base page only, right? Perfect. So here I'm avoiding to use driver, guys. Now all your test classes, let's see, I have another test class. This is my test class, and then this is extending this particular test class, and here I'm calling what? Getting the initializer drivers, everything is done. Simple, I'm writing my @test annotation, and now I'll just focus on my test cases over here. So I simply say that, okay, hey, this is my first test case number T1, and this test case number T1, let's see, we are calling this particular guy, and this guy is returning true, and now I'm going to assert over here. Same thing for test case number T2, I'm going to call this particular guy M3, and this guy is giving you a text, so I'm going to assert this particular text over here, and here I'm asserting true. I'm using assert equals over here. Likewise for test case number T3, I'm calling M4. Again, I'm doing one assertion over here. Now it is clear. So these methods will be called at the runtime from your testng classes, and then whatever you are getting it, okay, whatever these guys are returning, you have to validate over here in the form of assertions. You can do that. Now, some people, what they do, assertion also very difficult to write in that case. Some people say that, okay, Naveen, we can write assertion directly over here. No. What I'm saying is, some people, what they do, you will see this thing in industry, in page action, I have created one method in the page class. This is my page class. I have created a method over here. I'm writing driver.findElement, send keys, dot click, and then I'm writing an assertion directly over here. And then this particular method is done. Okay, this is a page class, I'm writing an assertion. Let's say you have written assertion over here, and you're creating one T1 method over here. This is my test one, and you are calling this particular guy from here, and you are not validating anything over here. Everything is validated over here. This is the wrong practice. This is according to the page object model. You should not follow this. Page object model should give you the behavior. Assertion is the testng responsibility or your test responsibility. Same thing if you're using tomorrow, let's see, a JavaScript, right guys? If you're using JavaScript, you can use Mocha or Jasmine APIs. So you have to create your page classes, .js, you have to create it, and then they should give you the behavior. If you see the WebDriver IO series, we are giving the behavior, we are returning something, and inside the Mocha or inside the Jasmine, we are writing assertions over there with the help of chai assertions or something like this. We are using it over there. Same thing in Python also, we will be doing that. Same thing in Java. So remember guys, this is a wrong practice, we should not follow that. Now, some people say that, okay, if you are not writing assertion over here, and every time you are writing assertion over here, then you have to write so many assertions. To solve this particular problem, what you do, you create an assertion, common assertion page class, or common assertion.java class. You create your own assertion class for your application. Let's say this is my login assert.java. And you write your assertion methods over here, A1, A2, A3, which are actually using assert class. Assert equals, assert.true, or something like this. And when you are getting something over here, right? When you are writing something and you are calling this, and then you pass this true to over here, and these guys are validating. And this is written with the help of testng only. This is not part of your page class. So they are talking to each other, this class and this class. Your test class and the assertion class, they are talking to each other. That you can do that, which is absolutely fine. Now, what is the advantage of this approach? The advantage of this approach is, I'm not talking about this approach, this is the worst approach. You should never use this. Advantage of this thing is, guys, that maintenance of the framework. First of all, you are maintaining proper bilocators over here, right? Go to login page class. And yeah, these are the bilocators, they are participating. If any changes are there in their locator, simple, go there and check it over there or update over there. And then all the respective page objects you have written, if someone is checking the library, so that's why this is called my page library. Okay, that's why this is called page library. So someone will come over here and then check, okay, yeah, this is the M1 method, M2 method, M3 method, and M4 method. what is the behavior. If someone has to change over here, they will update the step. If page behavior is getting changed or new page got added or something got deleted or something like this, they are just deleting over here or adding over here. They are just changing the M1 method. They don't need to verify anything over here. This method should always return something. So all the things they should return. All these page actions should return, and the same return should be validated over here. So this is my validation class, or validated should be validated over here. Fine. So remember this thing, guys. In fact, the creator of page object model, Martin Fowler, what exactly he says that he clearly written. I'll show you. I'll give you the description link in the description. That okay. He clearly says that okay. He has written a blog. He's clearly written, if you are writing assertions in your page classes, you're doing it wrong. In fact, there is a column for Simon Stewart, the creator of main contributor for Selenium. He clearly says that if you're using driver in your test classes, you're doing it wrong. Right, guys? So 2 rules, as I told you, please do not use driver over here. In your test class, please do not use that. And please do not use assertion over here. This is the main crux of the today's topic. Please do not use assertion at the page side. Please do not use driver at the test side. Driver is interacting with the web page. It should be written in your page class. Assertion is part of test.ng. It should be written in test class. And your page action should return something so that it can be validated over here with the help of test.ng assertion library. Like that. And the same fundamental will remain same in other programming languages also, because this is a design pattern. It's not only for Java, you can apply for any programming languages over there. Fine. Now one small thing, last thing. What is page chaining model in page object model? Right, guys? So let's see quickly. Now see, page chaining model is also very fundamental concept in page object model. Page object model says that okay, whenever you are creating a page, let's see, a typical example is this is my login page. In login page, I have username, password, and the login button. When I enter my username, enter my password, and I click on this particular login button, what is happening? We are landing on some different page. That is my home page. Right, guys? This is my login page, and this is my home page. I'm landing on my home page. So when you write the page class over here, so what will you write? You will be writing a login method. This login method is what? Right? So simple, I'm going to write type username, type password, type or send keys or whatever. Password. What will you write? Click login button. And then what? It means you're just clicking on it and doing what? It means we're landing on the home page. It means this method should return what? It should return home page class object. It means it should return new home page class object over here. It means if you are landing from one page to another page, and just because of login page, it is happening that you're landing from login to home page. It's login page responsibility, login page method responsibility to return the next landing page class object. Right, guys? So if 2 pages are communicating with each other, because page number P1, because of that, having one method over here, and now this method is moving you to P2, landing on P2. Now it's method responsibility to return the object of P2. Remember this thing, same thing, it's login method responsibility, this particular login method responsibility to return the next landing page. So this is my landing page. What is my landing page? My landing page is home page. Now let's see, there is a button or there is a link. The link name is contacts. Okay, contacts. So when you click on this particular link, this is the contacts link, you are landing on different page. This is my contacts page. Right, guys? Now, obviously, I'll be writing a method over here. My method name is, let's see, click contacts. right? In this particular method, I'm going to click on it, click, let's see, contact, like that. And now where exactly after clicking on it, where exactly we are landing? We are landing on contacts page. So it should return what? This method should return new contacts page object. Okay, like that. Right, guys? So, right. But let's see. I have one header is written. I want to validate this particular header. So I create one method over here, header method, whatever, right? Header method. I simply write driver.findElement. That's it. This guy is returning what? This guy is returning header is displayed or not. So this guy is returning true or false. Right? Is return true or false. This guy is not returning the next landing page class object because we are just validating. We are not clicking on it, and after clicking on it also, we are not landing on anywhere. Right, guys? So whenever you have something like this, you are clicking on the login, this particular button, you are landing on the home page. So it should return the home page class object. When you click on the contacts, it should return the contacts page class object. From the contacts page, if you are going to achieve the product page, it should return the product page class object. So that's why this is called, you're creating a chain over here. That's why this concept is called page chaining model. Okay, page chaining model. Remember this thing, right? So a method in page class can return the behavior. For login, what is the behavior? For login, the behavior is login method responsibility is not to validate that okay, login is done successfully or not. That is should be validated in testng class, right, guys? Login method responsibility to give you home page class object. Now from the home page class object, I'll be validating in my testng class that home page is visible or not, like that. So that's why guys, this is called page chaining model. So these are the different some basic links over here. I'll be reading out for you guys. So I share this particular link. In fact, couple of lines I'll show you. See, this is the link provided by this is the martinfollower.com. He's the main creator of this guy. I'll share, don't worry about that. This guy says that, okay, two important lines I'll be reading out. That, okay, yeah. I favor having no assertions in page objects. I think you can avoid duplication by providing assertion library. For common assertion library, you can do that. That already we have covered. Page objects are commonly used for testing, but should not make assertions themselves. It's clearly written over there. Their responsibility is to provide access the state of the underlying page. It means the state of the behavior of the underlying page. It's up to the test client to carry out the assertion logic. Who is the test client for me? testng, JUnit, Mocha, and Jasmine, Mocha, or PyTest, or unit test, or NUnit. It's their responsibility to write the assertion logic. Right, guys? See, it's clearly written over there. I'll share this particular paragraph, okay, like that. Now, you see, there is a paragraph. Simon Stewart says that it's common to write tests using, okay, from the specific language. And if you have WebDriver API in your test method, you are doing it wrong. Simon Stewart. Clearly saying that. Right, guys? So, if you are writing your driver API, if it means you're calling your driver APIs in your test classes, you're doing it wrong. It's clearly written over there. And this guy, Martin Follower, says that, okay, he is the main creator for the page object model design pattern. And this blog is written in 10 September 2013. I'll share with you, okay, with this thing, like that. Okay, and he has written one more thing over there. I'll show you that there are different opinion on whether page objects should include assertion themselves or just provide data for test scripts. That I told you. Some people, they advocate that, okay, no, assertion logic should be written in page objects. Some people, they say that, okay, no, assertion should be written in test classes. But what exactly I prefer? I favor having no assertions in page objects. I think you can avoid duplication by providing assertion library for common assertion. You can do that, but do not write any assertion in your page class. Clearly written over there. That is what I want to read it out for you guys. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope, guys, I know this is something, it's really difficult for me also to explain everything on the whiteboard, but I tried my best. But you can implement the same thing in your page object model if you're using it. Same thing will be applied for mobile automation also, or any other programming languages, you can do that. So thanks for watching this particular video, guys. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, or if you don't agree with that approach, please write in the comment section. Everyone's opinion matters a lot. It's not like, okay, that if I have written something, that's a universal truth. No, it's not like that. It's up to you how exactly you want to execute that. But a lot of advantages with this approach. First of all, maintenance. The report also very properly visible over there, that okay, yeah, proper assertion logic, you can check that okay, yeah, this particular method is doing this particular assertion. In the report also, assertion errors also will be visible properly over there. And the third thing is that for a new guy, for a newbie who joins the company, who says that okay, yeah, proper patterns being followed, plus this is the page behavior and this is the thing. Tomorrow any changes are happening in the page, it's easy for me to change the locator and the page actions, right? Then we don't need to change anything in the assertion. They are written separately over there in the test classes. So whatever you are returning from the page class, TestNG will do that. That's the only purpose of TestNG, right guys? That's what TestNG says that okay, you just don't worry about that, you just give it to me, I'll just validate. My job is not to talk to element or web element or web pages. That is your driver responsibility. That's why I'm not going to use driver also. TestNG says that driver should be written inside the page class. Let page will behave like a library, will behave like an interface for me to interact with the page classes over there, okay, on your web application. Sorry, to the pages on your web application. So that is the page responsibility, not the TestNG responsibility. Right guys, this is what you have to understand. I hope you got it. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching this particular video, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you're liking this whiteboard series. A lot of new things I'll be coming. I'll be I'll be coming with different scenarios and different use cases, different practical problems we will be discussing in this particular session. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the channel and let me know if you have any issues. Take care. Bye.